There are people who love quietly. And then there are people who love like a storm. Not because they want to, but because they don't know any other way. This is a story about them. The ones who cling too tightly. The ones who panic when you take too long to reply. The ones who feel abandoned even when nobody is leaving. The ones you call over-possessive. But in their mind, they're just trying to survive. Because for them, love has never been a safe place. It has always been a battlefield. Where peace feels like a trap. Where silence feels like danger. Where distance feels like death. You can always recognize them. They watch everything. They notice every shift in your tone. Every delay. Every detail you forget to mention. Not because they want to control you, but because their brain is wired to assume the worst. They live in a constant state of, "Don't leave me." Even when you swear you're not going anywhere. Their mind whispers, "Everyone leaves. Why would this be any different?" And that's the thing. Possessiveness is never born in the present. It begins years before. When they were young enough to still believe that love was simple, honest, gentle, and then something shattered that belief. Maybe they had a parent who left suddenly, a father who disappeared without warning, or a mother who came home but never truly returned. Maybe they grew up in a house where affection came with conditions, rules, tests, where love was something you earned, not something you received freely. Maybe they were the child who kept trying to make everyone happy, just so someone would choose to stay. Maybe they were the teenager who gave everything in their first relationship, only to be discarded like it meant nothing. People don't become over-possessive out of nowhere. Someone taught them. Through neglect, through inconsistency, through chaos. That love is something that can vanish, even when you're doing everything right. So now, they hold on too tightly. They grip even when their hands are tired. They fear even when you give them no reason to. They apologize for their jealousy when it comes from a place they can't control. Inside them, there is always a quiet desperation. If you leave, I won't survive another heartbreak. That's the part people don't see. You see the intensity, the suspicion, the constant need for reassurance. But you don't see the terrified child behind it. The one who learned that love disappears the moment you relax, and when you tell them to trust you. They want to. But trust is not a switch for them. It's a wound that never fully closed. Possessiveness is often a trauma response, disguised as protection. They're not protecting you. They're protecting themselves from the ghost of every loss they've never healed from. Here's what their mind sounds like, even during the quietest moments. Where are they? Why didn't they pick up? Who are they talking to? Do they look happier with someone else? Am I being replaced? Did I say something wrong? Why do I feel like I'm losing them? It's not obsession. It's fear masquerading as vigilance. But here's the darkest part. Possessive people don't realize that the tighter they hold, the more they push others away. They suffocate because they're suffocating inside. They demand constant reassurance because they were never given enough growing up. They ask for your time because no one showed up for them when they needed it. They try to control the relationship because losing control terrifies them. They track everything: your attention, your social media activity, your smallest emotional shifts. Not because they want power, but because they have never known stability. Control becomes the illusion of safety. And when they sense even the slightest distance, they spiral. They don't ask, "Is something wrong?" They assume, "I knew it. I'm losing them." So they become clingier, more demanding, more scared, more chaotic. They start fights they don't want, break down over things that seem small, overreact to things that don't matter. But in their mind, everything matters, because everything could be the start of the end. People say, just tell them to calm down. But you can't. Their nervous system doesn't know calm. It only knows survival. People say, just give them space. But space feels like abandonment. It feels like history repeating itself. It feels like losing all over again. If you've ever loved someone like this, you know how exhausting it can be. But if you've ever been someone like this, you know how painful it is. You don't want to be controlling. You don't want to be jealous. You don't want to overthink every message, every silence, every minute that passes without reassurance. You just want to feel safe and loved, for the first time in your life. But here's the truth no one tells them. You can't keep someone by gripping them. You keep them by healing the part of you that's convinced you're unlovable. Over-possessiveness begins where self-worth ends. Because deep down, you don't believe that they would stay if they truly knew you. So you try to hold them close before they can walk away. You try to anticipate danger before it happens. You try to protect your heart before it breaks. But the tragedy is, nothing destroys the relationship faster than the fear of losing it. Possessive people don't need more control. They need more self-trust. They need more internal safety. They need to rebuild the part of them that believes they are worthy of love. That doesn't have to be chased, begged for, or guarded like a secret. And healing doesn't happen through reassurance alone. It happens when you finally stop trying to prevent abandonment and start understanding the wound underneath it. Because the truth is, you're not afraid of losing them. You're afraid of losing yourself again, the way you did when someone broke you the first time. Possessiveness is not about ownership. It's about fear. Fear of loss. Fear of loneliness. Fear of not being enough. Fear of repeating a childhood that never gave you safety. And until that fear is faced, it will keep showing up as jealousy, panic, anger, clinginess, and emotional dependence. So if you are the over-possessive one, here's what you need to hear. You are not too much. You are not crazy. You are not dramatic. You are not impossible to love. You are simply someone who learned to love with fear instead of safety. And if you can learn fear, you can unlearn it. Slowly, gently, patiently, one honest moment at a time. You don't need to hold tighter. You need to heal deeper. Because one day, you will love someone, not out of fear, but out of freedom. Not with panic, but with peace. Not like a storm, but like a sunrise. Steady, soft, warm, and enough. And you will finally understand that the right person doesn't stay because you cling. They stay because they feel safe with you. They healed you. The secure you. The you who no longer fears the night. Because they've learned how to create their own light. That is the psychology of the over-possessive person. A mind shaped by fear. A heart shaped by loss. A love shaped by survival. And a future that can still be rewritten when they finally choose to heal the story that taught them to hold so tightly in the first place.